The results showed no issues. But in September, Molnar says she got a surprising bill from Bon Secours Mercy Health for $744.63.
Preventive care mammograms are covered at 100% through my insurance. So there was not supposed to be any patient responsibility, as long as you go to an in-network provider.
Molnar showed us this documentation verifying that her patient responsibility, according to her insurance, should have been $0.
Patient copay is $0, patient deductible is $0, so my patient responsibility is $0.
And yet, despite disputing the bill for months, she continued to receive bills. By February, a collection notice arrived in the mail.
What's it like when you see a notice come from a collection agency?
It makes me mad because I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing. I pay my bills on time.
Collections is a next level up from just getting a straight bill. I mean, what can happen?
It can affect your credit rating, which I did not want to have happen.
Since September, Molnar says she has spent 20 hours disputing the bill to no avail. She says it appears the hospital chain charged a certain amount for a mammogram, and Blue Cross Blue Shield paid what they believed to be the agreed-upon amount for the procedure. But that amount was far less than what Bon Secours Mercy Health charged for it.
My insurance paid the agreed amount with Bon Secours, but they're balance billing me for the $744.
In April, Molnar says she communicated with Bon Secours Mercy Health's customer service team via the patient portal, and they verified her patient responsibility was $0. And still, in July, Molnar received a bill for $744.63. That's when she saw a story we did last week profiling a Chesterfield woman, Heather Atkinson, who told us she spent hours on the phone disputing a bill from Bon Secours Mercy Health for a preventative cancer screening that she said her insurance already paid from her health reimbursement agreement, or HRA.
It made me call you because I don't know what else to do.
From what Atkinson had been able to piece together, it sounded like, similar to Molnar, she may have been stuck in the middle of a disagreement between her insurance and the hospital chain over the price of the MRI.
If there's a discrepancy between what Bon Secours and Aetna believe to be the allowed rate, that's really a contractual dispute between the two companies. That really doesn't have anything to do with me, so I don't feel that I should be responsible for that. You should work that out with Aetna, and you should not place the burden on me to continue following up to get people to pursue this.
Both women say they do not want what happened to them to happen to anyone else because they fear it could cause women to stop getting preventative care.
I'm frustrated, but I'm also sad because I think it leads people to not want to get that preventive care mammogram that's so important.
Now, of course, we contacted Bon Secours Mercy Health about each woman's case, and in both instances, Bon Secours actually adjusted their bills to $0. Now, in a statement, spokesperson Jenna Green said, while these recent cases have brought attention to areas for improvement, they represent a very small fraction of our overall patient interactions. They have provided helpful insights that led us to promptly enhance our internal processes. We have already implemented adjustments within our customer service team to more quickly identify and resolve similar issues moving forward. We continue to review additional workflows to further strengthen our approach. I'm Melissa Hippolyte for CBS 6.
We have some breaking news just into the newsroom out of Hanover County. A lawnmower accident sent one person to the hospital. It happened around 3 o'clock in the 10,000 block of Brook Hollow Court near Cedar Lane. Firefighters tell us the victim and the mower tumbled down a steep ravine, and it took quite some time to rescue the person. That person suffered significant injuries and was actually flown to the hospital.
People living on one cul-de-sac in Prince George County are concerned that they're not going to be able to leave their homes anytime soon because of a hole opening up on their street. Now, it may appear to be small, but it's what's underneath that's making neighbors feel uneasy. So they called CBS 6 senior reporter Wayne Koval for help, and he's giving them a voice.
From the outside,
I got home, it wasn't there. I went to dinner and it appeared.
It looks like a small pothole in the middle of the street. But this measuring tape tells a different story.
What, 2 feet deep?
Earlier this week,
I saw what looked to be a pothole, and when I went to go around it, I saw it was a gaping hole, not a pothole. And when I looked down, it was completely empty.
So CBS 6 took a camera and dropped it down just to see how big the sinkhole really is. And this is what we found.
It is completely hollow on the inside, like the dirt and stuff has washed away.
Exactly like Marissa Moore described.
Got to go over the hole.
Which is why some neighbors on Shallowwood Drive are concerned.
Even with these cones here, that hole covers from both sides of the road. So if you drive over it, you're still driving over the hole. You can't avoid it.
But this side of Shallowwood Drive is a short road.
So our street that we live on has a total of 8 houses on this side of the cul-de-sac.
Neighbors tell me they'd like to see this project fast-tracked for several reasons.
I'd hate to be on my way to work one day and fall in and have to call my supervisor saying, hey, I can't come to work.
We're at a cul-de-sac right here, so once that opens up, I'm like, whose yard am I driving through to get out,
Marissa says a bigger concern is if there is an emergency and fire and EMS are called.
And they're already putting themselves in harm's way, and I wouldn't want them to put themselves in even more harm's way of possibly their tanker going into a sinkhole.
Neighbors tell me they reached out to the Virginia Department of Transportation, including Marissa, looking for answers.
The lady on the phone was not very nice, and she seemed like I was exaggerating.
For some drivers I talked with, they truly are afraid.
They should not have to fear for their life driving around it every day. Is today the day that the hole is going to cave in fully?
I reached out to the county about fire and EMS calls for Shallowwood Drive. I'm told EMS calls should not be affected, but there will be extra efforts that have to be made if there is a fire call. I also reached out to VDOT, and they tell me they expect crews to be on scene Friday morning to start the repair process. Wayne Colville, CBS 6 News.
Spent a little time outside today, not too long, and it was thick.
Oh, I spent no time outside today, so Zach, fill us in.
Help her experience the heat and humidity, Zach.
That's right. Julie's not wrong. Yeah, it was hot and humid out there, as is typical for mid-August, and we have a few pop-up thunderstorms as well. Nothing severe here in the northern neck or middle peninsula, but some heavy showers near Kilmarnock, and then also down toward Gloucester and a little bit north of Susan. And then back here in the Richmond area near Chester, very heavy shower there. Haven't seen much in the way of any lightning with this, but very heavy rainfall locally, as well as over by Hopewell. We'd have one severe storm. That's the storm that's located over near Brookneal. This is coming out of Bedford County and moving south and east, so it'll be affecting Halifax County and continuing into Charlotte County as well. Also a pretty big storm between Keysville and Meherrin, producing a lot of lightning and very heavy rainfall. We do have other scattered showers, all this developing and pushing northwest to southeast across the area, and a flood watch which will remain in effect until 2 o'clock in the morning. Does not include Richmond. This is really only for Hampton Roads and then far southern sections of the Commonwealth. Temperatures in the 80s to around 90 degrees in most areas. We're sitting at 86 here in Richmond. We were cooled down at the airport by a little shower that moved over earlier. And there's a look at your forecast for this evening. Best chances for showers and storms will be over the next few hours, with decreasing chances after 8 p.m. All right, out in the Atlantic, very impressive looking tropical storm. This is Erin. Erin has max sustained winds of 60 miles per hour. It's moving quickly to the west at 17 miles per hour and is expected to become a hurricane as early as tomorrow. Tomorrow's lows in the morning, low 70s. Highs tomorrow are going to make it into the upper 80s to around 90 degrees once again. We will look at the weather for some of the outdoor activities this weekend, as well as the track of Erin. That's straight ahead.
Thank you, Zach. Tomorrow, President Trump will be meeting with Russian President Putin for a high-stakes summit in Alaska. Coming up, the biggest focus of that meeting and what world leaders are hoping comes from it.
You're watching CBS 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
President Trump is getting ready for his high-stakes meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin tomorrow, where the #1 topic will be the war in Ukraine. The one-on-one talks are set to take place at a military base in Alaska. CBS News' Willie James Inman is in Anchorage with the latest.
President Trump says Russian President Vladimir Putin does not want to mess with him ahead of their face-to-face meeting Friday to discuss ending the war in Ukraine.
I think that President Putin would like to see a deal. I think if I weren't president, he would take over all of Ukraine.
The president once again stressed that the more important meeting will be one that includes Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky.
I think President Putin will make peace. I think President Zelensky will make peace. We'll see if they can get along.
When asked if he will offer Putin access to rare minerals in exchange for ending the conflict, President Trump said, "We're going to see what happens."
The two leaders will meet for the first time since 2019 at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson outside of Anchorage. But going again, many see the summit as a win for Putin.
For Putin it's his opportunity to try to strengthen that bond with President Trump.
Andrea Kendall Taylor is a former U.S. intelligence official who specialized in Russia.
I think to me this summit is first and foremost Putin's ploy to buy more time as he continues a major offensive in Ukraine's east and continues to pummel Ukrainian cities.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky met with the British Prime Minister Thursday to discuss tomorrow's meeting. Ukraine is not part of the summit, but European leaders have urged President Trump to push for a full ceasefire before discussing exchanging any territory. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Anchorage, Alaska.